had a feeling of great triumph and victory.
Let the truth be told. Want the truth, you came to the right show. Talk to me, tell me what's going on. Alan and EMJ, we talk about back in the day to up to date, and you know it's nothing but love and no hate. FD Reese, it was the okay. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Lineage Show. Okay, let's go. The Lineage.
From the front line of that march, to my left, march Jose Williams holding his ball. I march next to him. Mrs. King march next to him. Dr. King march next to her. On the way to the Capitol, you hear Dr. King make that speech that day. I sat on that platform, looked out over that sea of humanity, and I had a feeling of great triumph and victory. After having gone through all of the indignities, all of the sacrifices, not all saying
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Lineage Podcast. We appreciate y'all joining us once again on this great Thursday. We have a couple of announcements this week, but this is going to be a great show. We're going to talk about a couple of things. The foundation has a lot of things going on, so we're going to go ahead and give y'all the rundown on what we have going on. Number one, once again, thank everybody for being here on this Thursday. It's great to have you. Great to have you. It is a great day because over the weekend, we had a great weekend. We had what we have been telling y'all for a few weeks, that we had a library tour coming. We call it the Art of Facts. And in this library tour on the Art of Facts, it is a display of original artifacts from the voting rights movement that you've never seen before. We had a great time. We had a great turnout. Children was coming, learning, and the adults were bringing them to the library. It was at the McDonough Public Library. Great turnout. The team was there. I'll share a few pictures, but before we get to that, y'all already know what time it is. If you have not booked a FD Reese Historical Tour in Selma, Alabama, please do it. Me and my brother will be there this weekend doing a tour. It's a great tour. We've added some additions to it, some more information. Now the tour it is longer than we anticipate, but that's not always a bad thing because more people are asking more questions. And to be honest, that is the main objective that we're trying to get out there. I want to tell the real history of Selma, Alabama, not the voting history that you have heard before that's in your books or lack thereof. But we're telling the real deal. So if you haven't booked the tour, go to FD Reese Historical Tour, go to TripAdvisor or Viator. It will be on there. If you haven't purchased this book, Selma's Self-Sacrifice, it is on Amazon. Matter of fact, this is one of the prizes that we were giving out at the Artifacts Library Tour. When people would answer the correct question, we would ask a couple of questions, either about the Teachers March, Bloody Sunday, whatever, about Granddaddy. And people would, once they gave the correct answer, they will receive a free copy of Selma's Self-Sacrifice. So that was a good thing. Also, History on Apparel is still up. Get your apparel. I must say, when we was at the Artifacts Library Tour, everyone had their apparel on. The whole team. My mother and father was there. They had their apparel on. Our president, our wives, our children, we had our apparel on. And History on Apparel. So if you want any type of apparel that represents FD Reese in somewhat of an urban way, we got you connected. Go to www.historyonapparel.com to get your apparel. Now, back to the artifacts library too. I'll show y'all a couple of pictures. These are a couple of pictures that we have that some different of us took. This is a display table with the books and some things for the kids. People were coming in and they were registering. They would put their information down, how many kids they have, and what they want to see different in their community. And it was great. Some of the things that people were saying. But this is the display. This is the Artifacts Library tour. We had people come in, view the artifacts, listen to mainly my brother tell the history of Selma F.D. Reese and his contributions to the voting rights movement. And it was a great time. We really had a great time. The kids were coming and interested. And so we are doing that again. And we put an extra twist on it. This is not our official flyer, but we will be putting an Eventbrite link up. We will be doing it again. The Artifacts Library Tour, F.D. Reese Foundation presents. This time, when is it going to be? October the 28th. That is next Saturday, people, if I'm not mistaken, at the Fairview Public Library. Now, we was at McDonough. Now we're in the Fairview Public Library, 28 Austin Road, Stockbridge, Georgia. The time is from 10:30 to 2. This is where you will see artifacts. Now we have a special guest that will be in the building, and I'm not going to give you who that will be. You will have to come and see who that will be. Special guest in the building. So bring your children. And I will say this. Some people don't celebrate Halloween. Our parents was always a little iffy about celebrating Halloween, especially when we was younger. But in the fashion of that, we will be giving out candy. So come on, we'll be giving out candy. You'll see some original artifacts. You'll hear a part of history that you never heard. Come on out to Stockbridge Fairview Library. So we will be there on October 28th, next Saturday from 10:30 to 2. So those are all the announcements. Now, y'all know before we go any further, y'all know what time it is. First Nurse Kimberly Reese is doing First Nurse things. And so she of course left a video for us to play. So we're going to go ahead and get out of her way and play the video. Take heed to what First Nurse Kimberly Reese is saying, and we'll be back.
Hello everyone, happy Thankful Thursday. This is your First Nurse Kimberly coming to give you a weekly dose of health information. We are officially in the month of October, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. According to CDC, other than skin cancer, breast cancer is the most common cancer among American women. Mammograms are the best way to find breast cancer early. This is when it is easier to treat and before it becomes big enough to feel or cause symptoms. If you are worried about the cost of mammograms, CDC's National Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Programs offer free or low-cost mammograms to women who have low incomes and are uninsured or underinsured. If you are around the Atlanta, Georgia area and you are interested in this program, it is located at the Office of Women's Health Georgia Department of Public Health at 2 Peachtree Street, Northwest on the 16th floor at Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. The number is 404-657-6370. If you are located in the Montgomery, Alabama area, you can call 877-252-3324. It is located at the RSA Tower, 201 Monroe Street, Montgomery, Alabama, 36104. And for others living in different states, you can find out if you qualify for the National Breast Cancer and Cervical Program for early detection by going to cdc.gov and typing in your state under the National Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program. After typing this in, you will be able to find a center that is near you. So let's strive to remain healthy and active by eating our fruits and vegetables and getting our yearly mammograms.
Welcome back to the Lineage Podcast. My wife hit me up while First Nurse Kimberly Reed's video was playing. And you know how wives are, they get you straight. She said, sir, next Saturday is not the 28th. So I was wrong. Next Saturday is not the 28th. It's the Saturday after next. My days are running together. So the Saturday after next, we will be at the Artifacts Library Tour, Fairview, in Stockbridge. So, but we'll keep y'all posted. That's even better. We'll get another week of promotion and everything. So we will be there, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after next, October 28th. Let's get into our show. It's called, I'll say this just a little pregame. I got the first people I heard this say is my parents. Sometimes we'll be having a discussion, and either Alan to mess with Mama, or if Mama tell Alan to do something, or if they telling the story about kids or anything of that nature, Mama Mama say, who the parent, who the child? Meaning, if I tell you to do something, I don't care if you is in your 30s, who the parent and who the child.
They still try to use that today, don't they?
Still try to use today. Yeah, and it's always comical when they use that. But today we're gonna talk about a couple of things before we get to who the parent, who the child, because I don't want to spend too much time on this. I know, we have to talk about hot topics and things of that nature because we are the Lineage Podcast, and we, even though we talk about history and current events in the political field, the religious field, and sometimes even the relationship field, and we have to talk about certain events just to see how people feel about it. And I know this has been going around here lately for the past couple of days about Mrs. Jada Pinkett Smith. Well, one, it came out and said Jada Pinkett revealed she and Will Smith have been separated. But during the time of the Oscar slap, said they had been separated for a long time. So I want to say they said they've been separated 7 years. We can touch on that a little bit. And then she also said that she called Tupac her soulmate, even though there was no chemistry between them. I'll just say my quick take on it. I never judge. Listen, I don't judge people's marriages. That's a covenant they made between God and themselves. I never judge it. I can lend advice. I can share my opinion. One thing I don't do is judge, though. I will say this, though. I'm tired of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith when it comes to this. Seen an interview of her. She said, well, we want to keep people out of our business. But then on the flip side, you have a show, Red Table Talk, where you tell all your business. So then it's like, okay, you want to keep people out your business, but then you want to tell all your business. But at the same time, I will say this. For her, she's making Will look bad. This is my personal opinion. When it comes to the totality of their relationship, I don't know everything, but we know about the entanglement. We know about the Oscar slap. We know, and it seems like that the pressure that has built up is affecting Will more than it's affecting Jada. It seems as if anytime she gets a chance to directly or indirectly disrespect Will, she takes the time to do it. Now, like I said, I don't know the inner workings. I don't know who Will could have behind the scenes and cheated and been a bad husband. I don't know the cases. I'm only talking about what I have seen publicly. And to me, it's a big mess. To me, I just wish Jada would just be quiet. That's just me. I don't know your take on it, bro.
I wish Jada would do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith needs a cause. And what I mean by that, when I look at other actors and like Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson. I could look at Magic Johnson. These women have taken on a cause.
Okay.
They have a purpose in life. I don't care if it's muscular dystrophy, MD, whatever cause, breast cancer. They go around the world. They raise money. They do different events, and it's something that they feel like it's close to their heart, that they need to make a difference, and they're busy. You look
Could
at
the red table talk been her cause though, in her mind?
it's too much talking. See, well, I would say there's one thing about even in, you see this in ministry, you see this in a lot of areas when both people are riding down the same line. I think Jada Pinkett has some type of jealousy towards her husband. I think Jada Pinkett wants to be seen. She wants people to say, look what Jada is doing. I think Will Smith is such a big star that he overshadows Jada.
Yeah.
And I don't think he does it on purpose. It's just he's a big star.
Right.
I'm sure if, I know Will is not on Michael Jackson level, but if Michael Jackson was married, when he was married to what's her name, Lisa
Marie Presley, yeah.
Presley, she, even though she was Elvis's daughter, Jada, Michael Jackson was such a big star that you didn't look at her as Elvis Presley's daughter, and we got to interview her. It's like, that's Michael Jackson and his wife.
Correct.
And a lot of times Will Smith has that type of aura that it's
Right.
about Will. And Jada needs something to do. So she needs to go. She needs I remember Pastor Dunn always told me this. God bless his soul, rest in peace. He said a lot of times when you go to the next level, you need to be fathered into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think Jada needs a mother. She needs someone as a mentor that can help her help find her cause, so it won't be so much attention on her. Because when she talk about the red, what is the red table?
Red table, yeah.
Red table talk. It's still about her in situations. I need for her to take self out the center and not worry about her story and go help someone else whose story or life needs to be changed.
Right.
Because what she's doing, man, she's man, to tell people that Tupac was her soulmate, to be married to Will Smith since 1997, right? If I'm not
right, yeah, 97.
And sit up here and Tupac died in 96, if I'm not mistaken. To sit here and say, well, he got killed. I ain't gonna say died, he got killed.
95,
96.
Yeah.
To sit here and say that man was your soulmate and you've been married to Will Smith all this time. That is a slap in that man's face, MJ.
Yeah, 100%.
It really is, man. Jada Pinkett should be ashamed of herself. Where's her pastor? So this is when you need people of God around you to tell you, sit your butt down somewhere. Her mother need to tell her to sit down and shut up. Will Smith need to tell her to sit down and shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a shame, MJ. It is.
100%. 100%.
If y'all been separated all this time, it's no one else's business. Why? Why come out and say that about your marriage now? Why?
She got the book out.
She got attention, MJ. She got to for money. See, remember, the love of money is the cause of all kind of evilness. It's the root. The root of all kinds of evil. There she go. The love of money, because she has a book out. Now she got to go out here and say all this, man.
Yeah, and me, you right, but I don't think it's money. I think it's well. Let me read it. Jeff said delusional with the clown face. Dad said the beginning was a mess. Eddie Wilson said, I strongly agree with you, my brother. And Miss Janae White said, let's not forget she's a celebrity too. They say no publicity is bad publicity. Jada is trying to stay relevant. And that's kind of touching what you were saying, yeah.
Yeah, she's a celebrity. Yeah. And my thing is, if you marry Will Smith, you know that you're going to take a back door. You're going to take the back seat. That's Will Smith, MJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand she has a career, but you know, for a minute, Jada was doing it right. She was in the movies because what movie she was in with Queen Latifah and some.
She was in Set It Off. She was in
I'm talking about really after the marriage. She was in some stuff lately.
Yeah,
a girl's trip, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, she was doing it, but like I said, it's not enough. But see, this right here, she know this is big,
right?
You know? And I hate it, man. I just hate it. I really do.
Yeah, and I think it's hard because I think she's at the point where it's hard for anybody with any type of logical sense to be able to get through to her, because, and I could be wrong. I see Jada being it's like she's selfish. So if Will told her we need to chill out with this, because I think if I'm not mistaken, he kind of hinted at her that the red table talk need to chill.
Yeah, even when he was on there, he looked disgusted. He like,
right. And I think she's at a point now where you can't tell her nothing, man. And I think Will then kind of transformed into that because he was so stuck on he don't want to get divorced no more. So he trying to work through it through nail and teeth, but you know, it's tough. Miss Janae said she's selfish. She said they separated but didn't want to divorce because she wasn't ready. At the same time, engaging in entanglements. Yeah.
Like what is an entanglement?
Entanglement, man.
Shout out to Janae, man. We gotta have her on the show, MJ. I'm gonna tell you. That's my classmate, but she also has her own business, an entrepreneur. She teaches gun proper use of a firearm. She has a class that teaches people how to use firearms. So y'all on there, man. If y'all trying to get some firearm training, Janae White, formerly Janae Milkles, is her name. Y'all check her out, man. Check her out. She's from Cedar Grove.
Oh yeah, I need to send my wife up there.
Do that, you know.
Yeah, get some training out there.
Get some training because we believe in bearing arms. If you don't believe in bearing arms in today's time, something is wrong with you.
Getting sleep.
You know? Protect yourself. Women and men need to know how to use that thing. Like I was saying.
Let's get to our next topic. And this is, everyone can chime in. I know most of the people on here are parents. Mr. Janae, thank you for the promo all day. Yeah, all day. Yeah, we definitely got to have on. This can be a tricky subject, but I'll read this. It says, study says shouting at children is just as harmful as physical or sexual abuse. I read this. Recording a study done by Science. I can't see that. Adults shouting at children can be just as harmful as physical or sexual abuse. The study says that yelling at children has adverse lifelong effects. Hold on, let me get this out of the bottom. Yeah. The study says verbal abuse can manifest into depression, substance abuse, and even affect someone's physical health, causing issues like obesity and lung disease. A professor involved with the study says childhood verbal abuse desperately needs to be acknowledged as an abuse subtype because of the lifelong negative consequences. Researchers are encouraging adults to refrain from shouting, name calling, and using hurtful language when speaking to children. I'll put this on the table, or let me read something else first. Let me go here, because they did a study in August of this year. It's a study the importance of respect in relationships between adults and children. It says when a child feels respected, this has a profound effect on how they feel about themselves and how they behave towards others. Being respected by important people in our lives growing up teaches us how to be respectful towards others. It builds feelings of trust, safety, and well-being. When a child screams and cries over a broken stick that they have picked up on the nature walk, we don't want to respond with, come on. We want to respond with, she's saying we don't want to respond with, come on, stop crying. Don't be silly. This feels disrespectful for the child, as this is important in their world right now. If our partner or friend were crying about something, let me move this. If our partner or friend was crying about something that was important to them, we wouldn't tell them, stop crying and don't be silly. We need to react with kind words and understanding as we with a friend. Okay, we would say to them, oh, the stick broke and you're having a lovely time playing with it. You feel sad because it's broken. Let them feel that emotion, comfort them, and help them overcome their frustration without dramatizing their problem. Let's remember that we don't demand respect from children. We show them how it's done. Do I agree with some of this? A little bit. Well, I ask you, do you think children deserve the same respect as adults? Before you go there, bro, before you say something, I want to show a video of a guy yelling at a child, and I want to ask the audience and you, do you agree with this yell though? I'll show this and I want to hear y'all respond.
Doing like she crazy, cursing at her, telling her what you won't do. You won't clean your room. You won't do what you want to do, and you talk to your mother like that? Like you tough? Do you think you tough, little man? Talk to me like you talk to your mother. Talk to me. You think you tough, don't you? Bust up on me. Cuss me out. Tell me you ain't gonna do what I say do. I dare you. I dare you. You ain't gonna do it to me? Why you do it to her? Why you talk to her disrespectfully? Why? Little boy, answer me. Why do you talk to your mother disrespectfully? You don't know why you do it. Today I'm gonna help you find out why. And today it ends. Today it ends. Do you understand? You will not call your mother out of her name.
So, I read what it says about yelling at children. When I said I agree with some of it. Now, do I agree with the adults that call kids out of their name? You know, they're going overboard. No, I don't. But at the same time, do I agree with hard, constructive criticism for children? And if it means sometimes yelling at them, I may get pushback. I agree with it. I think it's a time and a place for it. When they say, I can see psychologically how yelling at them and talking down on them and all of that can create some type of insecurity. It can create a lot of things when they grow up. But at the same time, I got yelled at. I got whoopings. Didn't traumatize me. And I'll be honest to say I needed majority of them. Because it taught me respect, it taught me discipline, and especially for boys and men. So I don't fully agree with it. Let me say that. I think children need to be yelled at. I think they do, because sometimes, especially nowadays, these children getting out of line. See, because they grow up thinking that they deserve the same treatment and they deserve the same respect, so they feel like they are equal. And sometimes you got to put them in their place, man. You got to let them know, hey, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. So although I agree with some of the things that the study said, but that's pacifying to me. And one thing I'm not gonna do is pacify my children, because at the end of the day, my job as a parent is to raise you up so you can be an effective adult in this world. And if I pacify you and don't yell and don't show you sternness, you're gonna go out in this world and this world gonna eat you up. So for the most part, I disagree with what they're saying. But I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist. But for the most part, I disagree. I think kids need some constructive yelling at night.
First of all, that young man who the father, that video you just showed, I didn't think he went far enough. I would have had a belt. That young man deserves a whooping. I wish AJ would cuss his mama out. I wish AJ would call his mama out of her name. I wish AJ would buck at his mama. A belt, switch, stitching cord, I don't care what people think about me today. Okay? He would get his behind whooped bucket naked. is that? You can say I'm a child abuser. You can call what you want to call me. I raised my kids like my daddy raised me. And when you see me out in the street, most people say I'm a very respectable young man. And the thing today that we've gotten away from the way we raised our kids, we let these psychiatrists, whatever you say,
Yeah.
We have allowed them to tell us how to raise our kids, and most of them don't even have kids. They went in a book and read a book and went to school and decided they know more about parenting than people who've had kids. And generation and down generations, they feel like they're smarter than culture. MJ,
Mm-hmm.
that's our problem. We allow people who could, the worst thing you can do in your household, to allow people who make laws and who done gone to school tell you how to run your household.
Mm-hmm.
They will run your household to the ground, and you will look 2 generations down and say, what has happened to my family? You better stick to them cultures that grandmama there and great grandma there had whooping these kids behind. Ain't nothing wrong with you sending your child out there to go get a switch. We used to have unpeg, used to keep switches.
Yeah,
Go
man,
out there and get a small switch if you want to and see what happens. Mama now go out there and get a branch.
get a tree branch out the roots and they
Bring it back. These kids, y'all allow these kids to be, what's wrong with these kids? They're not getting whooped enough. They can't get whooped at school. Think about it, MJ. When our parents in school, when they had paddling, yeah, you had some kids, they had fights and all this, but they respected adults, MJ.
Right.
The foundation of the child was a respectable child. I'm not saying he's gonna have good grades or none of that, but they at least gonna be respectable. These days it's not like that because stuff like that, what you just read, talking about don't tell the child if he broke his teeth, he's crying, this is his world. Man, when you grow up, I'll tell my friend, hey man, you need to tighten up. That ain't worth crying about. It's time to move on, because what you'll do, you creating weak men and women.
Mm-hmm.
This world is full of weak people, MJ.
Yeah.
And overly emotional people. That's why they out here. They don't fight no more. You step on somebody's shoes, they're ready to shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
They overly emotional and they weak. And when they get told no, the reason they talk about suicide, the suicide rates going up. Let me tell you why suicide rates going up, because you don't tell your child no. At a young age, if you tell them no, when they finally hear no, their life is not over with. You wait till they start being 13, 14, and 15 when you can't do nothing with them. They say, no, you can't have none. Now they feel like, oh, it's over. Start telling them kids 3, 4, 5 years old, stop crying. That ain't worth crying about. No, you can't have it. And if they say, well, why I can't have it? Because I said so. Mama didn't have to have an answer, MJ. They didn't have to have an answer on why they told us no. It's because they said so. And it's not to ask them why could it get knocked, you'll get knocked in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get back to that, man. Stop allowing these people who study a book raise your kids and tell you how to raise your kids.
Yeah.
I remember one time I got whooped. I was in Cedar Elementary, man. They whooped me. Never forget that. I told this lady these words, man. I went to school, I had little whelps on me, I was trying to tell this and that. They sent them folks to the house. Daddy told, and these folks never came, but he said, look, I'll tell you 3 things. Either I whoop them, y'all take them to jail, or we both bury him.
Yeah.
The lady came with that clipboard, never came back.
She never had that.
See, she understood this man is raising his kids right. This boy was bad. He deserved a whooping. I don't care if I did hear some. Well, I know Georgia say only way you supposed to whoop kids, you can only whoop on their bottom, between and their bottom, not below they butt, hamstring, whatever. Whoop them.
Yeah, and most of the time, again, whooping. The reason we have whelps on our arms,
because we moving. They grab their arm and turn it. But I'm saying, but MJ, is the truth. MJ, we got that. We have to get away from this. This, you know what? This used to culturally. This wasn't the black community, MJ.
Right.
Culturally, we used to have other groups on the white community, other groups on how their kids were more vocal. We like, ooh, we couldn't say that.
Yeah, man.
Like, ooh, I'm dead. but see, the thing was, we had fear of our parents, because what people don't realize, your child who does not have a relationship with God, by fearing you, it allows him to understand who God is.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
No, the reason these kids don't fear death because they don't fear God.
Right.
But I guarantee they never fear their parent first.
Right.
See, the word says they'll train a child the way they should go. God is expecting a parent to train a child to a certain point that when he grabs them, they already trained.
Right.
Because they don't know who he is coming in this world, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have a generation who don't know who God is because they never been parent right.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the end of the day, man.
Mm-hmm.
We have to change that. Get back to whipping these kids. Stop letting these kids be a part of grown folks' conversation. Stop letting these kids have all these opinions.
Right.
I see all these kids got opinions. Like, you ain't got an opinion.
Right.
You do what I say do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a dictatorship. Ain't no democracy.
Ain't no democracy.
Ain't no votes around here.
Mm-mm.
Ain't nobody casting votes. The parents get one vote and the child get a vote. Who are you?
Right.
And that's what's wrong, MJ. I'm tired. I'm tired of all these studies. Remember, they told you smoking was good for you when it first started smoking. Then people started dying of cancer. Then they started telling you it was bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with these kids. Keep listening to these folks who went to school and tell you this the way you should raise your child. You're gonna keep having these problems. You're gonna keep raising these weak-minded, physical men and women. Real talk.
Yeah, before we go, I got to read. Ms. Janae said, I can see telling a little boy men don't cry could cause emotional issues down the line. Jeff said there's yelling. Janae said they yell at them in the military like that. Jeff, 100% undisciplined boys become undisciplined men. Kim said, I'm not saying that he should yell at the young man all the time, but he deserved it according to his actions. Jeff said, he who spares the rod hates his son.
That's right.
But he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. That's right. That word there, Jeff.
That's right.
The kids fighting the teachers, not that right. 100%. Charlene said, and it starts at a young age, little kids running their parents. 100% right. And Mr. Eddie Wilson said, I agree with you because it happened to me. They wanted to put me in jail because I believe in whipping that behind. Yeah.
MJ, man. And the thing is, and I agree. Someone said, telling young men not to cry, it probably hurts them on down the line. See, one thing about me, I talk to my son, I tell my son I love him. I'm emotional, I hug him. So, so by my actions toward him in that area, I show him how to be affectionate, be affectionate towards me, and also teach him it's okay to be sensitive in a young man at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
But at certain points as a man,
you
got to tighten up.
Yeah.
So as fathers, we have to make sure we're showing that balance.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling them I love you, hugging them, telling little son, it's okay to tell dad you love him. Come give me a hug. It's okay to wrap your arms around him and show him affection. That's all right. It's our job to do that, but it's also our job to show him, look, that right there, it ain't worth being overly emotional about.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you overly emotional about this right now, when you get older, you're gonna be overly emotional about certain things, and that's not good.
That's right.
That's not good.
It's not good.
So it's our jobs as men to teach them that balance, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That just
you're 100% right, and I ain't gonna lie. I tell our son, you don't need to be doing all that crying, and I ain't taking it back.
Tighten up.
I'm gonna tell you, tighten up, and it's because and a lot of the times, and this is good because sometimes women don't understand. They're dealing with boys, especially women don't understand that we understand we have to deal with boys a certain way. Mm-hmm. See, it's a trail and it's a path that women don't walk, boys do. So when we said stop crying, it's not that you shouldn't feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. It's about how you express the feeling. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when it not saying you shouldn't be mad because your toy broke, or you shouldn't feel a certain way because you done broke your toy. Mm-hmm. But when we say don't cry, it's because we understand that as a man, when you start having a family, when you get married, everything is not gonna go. The car gonna break down.
Mm-hmm.
The insurance gonna get behind, the tire gonna blow out,
Mm-hmm.
hot water tank is
Mm-hmm.
gonna go out.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that you as a man should be doing is let your family see that you're overly emotional about things that happen in life, because now they're not gonna feel safe and protected.
Mm-hmm.
So it's deeper than us just telling boys,
Mm-hmm.
don't cry because we don't want to see it. No, see, we understand.
Mm-hmm.
If he crying over toys and I keep letting his toy slide,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be crying when a girl rejects him, then,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna have to let that slide.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna cry when he get his resume together for that interview and put that shirt and tie on, and then they tell him no, and then he gonna cry then.
You got to keep moving.
You gotta keep moving. So it's really not about that toy. It's
Mm-hmm.
about that men. We understand.
And
On this journey, it's gonna be things that hit you that you just can't be overly emotional about.
I agree. And I think we as fathers have to make sure that we allow for them to be vulnerable with us. And people might, and we show, that's why I show my son affection. Because son, you could be vulnerable with me. Because the world is not a place for a man to be vulnerable in this world.
It's not.
And people might disagree with me on that, but you look at the fat shame, the memes. You look when Michael Jordan cried at Kobe Bryant funeral. Right. They made a meme about showing Michael Jordan crying. When they called men who always take their shirt off fat boy, but we'll say about what's her name, the lady that Lizzo. If we say something about Lizzo, it's fat shaming. It is not a place in this world for a man to be vulnerable out in the open. That's just what it is. So we as men have to show our boys to look, you could be vulnerable with me. And when we come out this room, you're going to be ready to roll.
Yeah, I think I froze up. We both froze up, man.
You froze up, MJ?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Face right there. You look like granddad at home, I must say. But yeah, I just think that, MJ, that I think we as a people, and I'm talking to all our listeners, we have to make sure that we go back and raise our kids like our great grandmothers, our great granddaddies and grandmothers did, and our fathers and mothers did us. I think it's better for the community. I think it's better for everyone. My brother just straight froze up on me. He done left me. But guess what? I guess I'll finish the show unless he come back. So put on. I would like for y'all to put on the chat. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the difference between how we was raised and how you're raising your kids? You know what I'm saying? Because I really think that it's a bit difference from how we was raised. The people that was born in the 80s and the people that was born in the 2000s. I think is a difference. But I also think that the mindsets of the kids and our mindsets are different too. I think we were stronger. Now I think they're smarter. I think naturally they tend to catch on to technology and catch on to different things better than we did. But I think physically and with our mindset, I think that we are naturally smarter. Not smarter, but physically stronger. In today's society, and I think we've dropped the ball. I think we have dropped the ball in transitioning and keeping those same values how we was raised into today's society, how we raise our kids. Why did we change that? What happened? You know, that's just a question we have to ask ourselves, and we got to go back to say, you know what? We got to go back and pull those old ways for today's time. Everything from back in the day is not bad. I know buildings change, clothes change, music change, but some values shouldn't change. Some things about the past shouldn't change. And the way we raise our kids, man, should not change. Because what's happening today is just not working. When old people are afraid to go inside of the grocery store and they're afraid to do certain things because these young folks just don't care. That's a shame. Even when you look at the streets, the street code back in the day, even the gangsters respected the elder, the women, and the kids. You know what I'm saying? If they were smoking weed, an older lady walked by, hey man, put that up. They were doing something they ain't having to do. Hey, stop that. Miss Johnson walking by, stop it. Now, oh, she can't say nothing to me. Oh, I'm grown. Oh, whatever. I cuss her out. What is that? Is that right? We have to change that, and we have the power, man. You know, we have the power to change that. My brother not coming back in, I guess. This is not I must say, my strong point in doing the show. So what I would do is say, I appreciate y'all tuning in today. I guess this is about our time. We're going in about 10 minutes early. What I would tell people, one of Granddaddy quotes, out there every night comes a day. I ain't never seen it fail yet. And I must say, that goes for my life too. All the nights that I've had in my life, and I've had some, and my wife has had them with me. Day is always broke. We always just see it through. And I think everyone on here, I would submit to you, y'all do the same thing. Regardless what's going on in your life, keep fighting. Don't give up. Don't allow the enemy to get in your mind. When I think about the enemy, I always resort back to Job. The enemy really tried to steal Job's mind after everything he went through, but he kept pushing. So I believe even in today's society, as things go up, I know it's hard. We in a soft recession. Keep pushing. Better days do come. They will break in your life. I believe that, and I speak that right now. That whoever watches this show, that night might be present. You might look around, all you see darkness. Guess what? Keep pushing. Close your eyes and ask God, what is about me that you are trying to change, that you want to release? Sometimes the night is good. Don't always think that when the night is present in your life that it's a bad thing. God uses the night to take some things away. Sometimes you got some people in your life that God needs to reveal and need to get out your way. Sometimes you got debt in your life that you just need to get rid of. Sometimes having a downfall in your finances is good to clear the way so you can start anew. Start anew is good. Remember, in the beginning, there was the Word, and there was God, and God was the Word, and the Word was with God, but he was dwelling in darkness. Then he created the earth, the sun, the moon. But it's good things and great things that happens in darkness. And I really feel like people need to understand that the nighttime does not always mean it is bad. The nighttime is the time of renewing, a time of change. It's the time to become anew. A baby is born out of darkness, and when it is birthed, then it goes to the light. But look at all the things that God allowed for that baby to grow and develop in that dark womb to prepare itself for the day, for the daybreak, and that was to give life on this earth. So take that understanding and say, you know, if it's not in my life, I'm in the womb, and I'm growing, and I'm kicking, and God is giving me my nutrients, and it's just for a season. And once my time comes, and that season is that season that God has for me, and I walk in it, and I'm born. And you look at the time, and then when you see that God is restoring or He has renewed, look up at the time and say, okay, it was this time. It was 6/18, October the 12th, when God renewed me, and that was your birth into your new season, in your when day has broken your life. Remember that. Do not give up. Keep pushing. Man, I love y'all. I appreciate everyone who tunes in every week and supports us in this movement for my grandfather, for the Reese legacy, man. I really appreciate you. I speak blessings on your life. Anything that you're asking God for that is for you, I ask that the Lord manifest it. And guess what? Faith without works is dead. Have faith. Be faithful to your faith, and for your faithfulness, God will give you what you ask for. Peace out. Love you.